Hello class, my name is Audrey Baenziger, and I'd like to go over my concern for inclusivity in classrooms for disabled children. Inclusivity is a big problem that has been overlooked. Children who are disabled have a harder time learning in an environment that does not feel safe and inclusive for them. By having and promoting inclusivity as teachers, we will be able to make all students, disabled or not, feel welcome in our classrooms. Non-inclusive schools could look like children with disabilities being taught in different schools because of their disabilities, not catering to different learning styles, and not being accessible to children with disabilities. As stated in my last pitch, 17% of school districts are still not able to teach children with physical disabilities because of the buildings themselves. This statistic shows how far we have come but still need to go to create more accessible and inclusive schools. In this pitch, I'd like to go over how I will apply cognitivism theory in my innovative approach, what that approach will look like, and what I will need to make it happen. So first, I'd like to start reviewing the learning theory that will help me with my innovative approach to my big problem. This week, I will be going over cognitivism theory. Cognitivism theory was created by Jean Piaget, who believed that children have 4 developmental stages of intellectual development. The sensory motor stage, from birth to 2 years old, focuses on object permanence. An example of this is a baby's understanding if a toy is shown to them and disappears, they'll still understand that there is a toy somewhere. And then the pre-operational stage, from 2 years old to 7 years old, focuses on symbolic thought. An example of this is a child believing that a glass that is wide and short does not hold as much water that a glass that is skinny and tall is, just because of the height difference. And then the concrete operational stage, from 7 to 11 years old, focuses on logical thought. An example of this is a child thinking more about how other people feel and thinking things through in their head before they react. The last stage, the formal operational stage, from 12 to adulthood, focuses on scientific reasoning. An example of this is having more abstract ideas and thinking more hypothetically about situations. Piaget also addressed schemas that form cognitive development. Assimilation and accommodation are 2 of the steps in the adaptation of schemas. Assimilation is the way that we fit new information onto schemas we already have. An example of this is a child who has only seen orange cat seeing a multicolored cat for the first time. They understand that it is a cat because it has a long tail and pointed ears, but have to add to their schemas that cats can be different colors. Accommodation takes assimilation a step further by revising their schemas when new information is added. An example of this is a child seeing a snake for the first time after only believing that animals can have 4 legs. Another step is equilibration, which is a balance of both assimilation and accommodation. Next, I'd like to review my solution to my big problem. In my last pitch, I went over how I would like to create a school that is inclusive and accessible for all students and teachers. The school curriculum would be using learning theories to teach their students and inclusive practices, and every teacher hired would be educated on biases, inclusivity, and learning theories. Children with physical and mental disabilities can request an aide if they would like one, and a program would be at our school specifically for all students if they'd rather have more one-on-one learning time with their aide. Fridays would be an optional day for students, but a school program for students with working parents would be held at the school and include an activity every week with rotating teachers. Teachers would be able to hold meetings or collaborate with other teachers on Fridays, or have it as a solo day where they can grade papers if they choose and are not doing the program that week. Adding in specifically cognitivism theory, there are so many ways that it can be incorporated into my school and my school program on Fridays. In the classroom, teachers can understand what developmental stage their students are at, disability or not, and help them learn while incorporating topics and activities in the classroom that can help them challenge and grow their minds. Assimilation and accommodation would be important when changing the schemas of students on new information that they learn. Teachers can monitor the process of this to make sure that students understand the new information that they are learning fully and relate it to old information. Cognitivism learning can also be applied to my school's Friday program. Different activities will be held every Friday with different ways to stimulate the brain. An example of this is one Friday each child could be put in a group and write a skit together. They can collaborate on ideas and work together by using logical thought, which is the developmental stage that many of them would be going through. And then these plays could be on whatever they would like them to be, on magical kingdoms, pirates, or even on mimicking what they see in real life, like going on a roller coaster. Schemas would be adapted through what they learn from each other through the experience and change from what they learn by collaborating with others. Adding cognitism theory to the weekly activities will help my students grow and develop their ways of thinking and obtaining information. Finally, I'd like to go over what I need to help me with my innovative approach. I will need teachers and aides well-versed in learning theories, biases, and inclusivity. I will need the supplies to build my school, a plot of land for my school, contractors to build it, the help and support of my community, and help to create a fundraiser for the school, supplies for Friday activities every week, and finally, the most important resource, the input and help of the families that have children with disabilities to create the school for their children. After going over cognitism learning theory, the problem I'd like to fix, my innovative approach to change this problem, and the resources I will need to make it happen, I would like your additional support on this added idea to my innovative approach. Having these cognitism learning theories on Fridays gives teachers a chance to talk with parents and collaborate on ideas with other teachers, and a chance for students to build on their schemas and collaborate. This will create an inclusive and accessible school for everyone involved, which is something that every school needs and every parent of a disabled child will appreciate. Thank you for listening to my innovative approach on how I can create this school and create an environment accessible and well-versed, and how to teach all students effectively. Thank you.